Welcome, Climate Viewers. Jim Lee from ClimateViewer News at ClimateViewer.com. Connect.ClimateViewer.com for those who want to connect to all the things Climate Viewer. If you guys have not checked that out, in fact, I don't think I've. It's always something you go, oh, why is my stream deck not working? Maybe because you didn't turn it on, Jimbo. If you guys have not been here before, if this is your first time, go to connect.climateviewer.com where you will see all three of my websites. You will see my SUBSTACK newsletter. You can sign up for that, get daily updates, weekly, monthly updates in your inbox. Join our Telegram chat. Check out all my social media. And right now, if you could support my channel by especially going to Gifts and Go or PayPal, I am trying to get out of this bedroom. The reason I haven't been making so many videos is because I am very, very busy, like working on a new thing, especially chemtrailfacts.com. So one of the things I'm hoping to do is be able to get a studio, and the studio's in my backyard. So anybody donating to that, all the money's going to building a studio in my backyard, getting out of this bedroom, because right now my wife would like to be in bed. It is 11:17 on the East Coast in Sumter, South Carolina, and I can predict chemtrails. This is not a psychic ability. It's something I've been able to do for a very long time. And I would like to teach you how to also become a chemtrail predictor. Before we do that, we're going to get into some news just very briefly. In case those that missed it, there was, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. broke the internet the other day when he said chemtrails are in the jet fuel. It's done, we think, by DARPA, and a lot of it is now coming out of the jet fuel. We're bringing on somebody who's going to think about that, find out who's doing it, and hold them accountable. I know a guy. Just saying. Not confirming. I will confirm nor deny any, accusations, but I know a guy. Anyway, this tweet is probably the most popular thing I've ever done on the internet, which is crazy because I've been shadow banned forever. If the audio is jacked, it's pumped. It's okay. Do I need to turn it down? I just want you guys to know. Yeah, I'm going to turn it down a little bit. That when I first turned my computer on and I plugged it up, the audio wouldn't even connect. And I'm like, oh God, no, I'm not having that same problem. My boy, quite frankly, he was having computer problems. Anyway, not going to ramble. So, I hope the audio is better. 441,000 views on this tweet. I broke the internet. That's the best I've ever done on anything. I don't know. I somehow broke through the algorithm. Anyway, so I wanted to cover that in detail. I'm just going to give you the nuts and butts of it. Anybody, you guys can go over to my Substack. My Substack is now at climateviewer.news. That's right, no .com or anything. Climateviewer.news will bring you here.
My name is Emily, and my biggest concern is the stratospheric aerosol injections that are continuously peppered on us every day.
What the hell is going on that I don't have desktop audio? I swear this thing hates me today. Audio system. Oh, is it coming out of my speakers? And that's why, because I'm a moron? Likely so. Likely so. Blame the user every time. It's the user, not the computer. Just saying. Let's try that again.
My name is Emily, and my biggest concern is the stratospheric aerosol injections that are continuously peppered on us every day. Bromium, aluminum, strontium, it's sprayed in our skies all day long. And
for those who are wondering what bromium is, it turns young children into bros. Just saying.
And I know you've talked to Dane Wigington about this. He seems to be one of the experts in the field.
Is there a question?
Even Dr. Phil's like, okay, could you wrap it up, lady?
Yes. How do we stop it?
That is not happening in my agency. You know, we don't do that. It's done, we think, by DARPA, and a lot of it now is coming out of the jet fuel.
Yes,
so,
sir.
you know, those materials are put in jet fuel. I'm going to do everything in my power to stop it. We're bringing on somebody who's going to think only about that, find out who's doing it, and holding them accountable.
Yes, sir.
So that was RFK breaking it down. You know, we think it's DARPA, and you know, it's my chemtrails, you know, like, but it's in the jet fuel. So this is like a monumental step in the right direction. At least we're starting to get closer to the truth. I take it as a win. This is not the first thing that he said about this. Obviously, you know, back in August 26th, he said, we are going to stop this crime. You know, referring to a post by Bill Gates is a psycho, the most clickbaity guy on Twitter. You know, concerned citizen with 949,000 followers, constantly posting chemtrail video. Chemtrail pilot whistleblower. Don't watch this video. It'll make your head explode. The level of dumb in this is unbelievable. But RFK responded to it. So this was the first major thing. And of course, I was like, bro, if you need me, just holler. Just holler, bro. You know, I got you. He did not holler. And then just recently, April 25th, he also tweeted about this. We will soon end this crime against humanity and our planet and bring justice to the plutocrats who are perpetrating this mass uncontrolled experiment. And again, wouldn't you know it, responding to the same dude, concerned citizen, B. Gates is a psycho. Yeah. And this was regarding the UK experiment. I could make a whole video on the whole UK experiment, but I'm not going to. The time's not right. Bottom line. That's a whole nother can of worms. I'll explain it. Calm down eventually. I don't feel like doing that anymore. Like right now, I don't even feel like doing that because I think we've reached like peak stupidity and I just want to deal with the facts. So I'm not going to read you the whole damn article because if you're lazy, you don't deserve it. And I'm just going to skip to the end because it's a lengthy article. So, you know, oh, what's going on? All this stuff. Lee Zeldin with Make Sunsets. Getting some hate mail. Because, God forbid, RFK mentioned jet fuel. Yeah, you are a big effing hoax and you need to F off, you trailer trash. How dare you ditch Dane Wigington? Are you being paid to actually say contrails are real? You absolute D-bag? You even convinced Soren. It's David Sorensen. We are effed, and you will burn in hell for this. Tell me how you really feel. I mean, like, you let me know, chat. Tell me how you really feel. Let me know in the comments. Like, copium is a powerful drug and fear is even more dangerous. Like, unbelievable. So for all of the people who are out there trying to figure this out, what the hell is RFK talking about? What's the DARPA connection? Are they actually, you know, screwing with the jet fuel and putting something in it? Here's the brief history of this. I'm going to rip through it real fast, and then I'm going to go show you how to predict chemtrails. I mean, plane farts. I mean, cirrus clouds. One of the above. One of the, you know, I'm going to do my Jim Lee, the weather prediction. I mean, chemtrail, one of them things, you know, one of them things. Yep. That's right. Gambera over in Rumble Chat says, you get hate mail when you're over the target, Jim. That's right. You catch the most flack when you're over the target. People, you're just going to there's going to be a massive amount of copium on the internet when The facts are finally laid bare, and that moment is coming soon, because chemtrailfacts.com, when this hits the internet, all the nice, talk, all of the playing well with others is over. Everybody will be equally put on blast, and all sides of the story will be told, laid bare, clean. And with that being said, I did mention, please donate to givesandgo.com/climateviewer. All the links are on connect.climateviewer.com. So far, I've received about $350 towards my $5,000 goal. I'm going to be working on chemtrailfacts.com from the time that I end this video until the next time I come in and announce it to the world. I'm not answering any of y'all's phone calls. There are so many people that are, trying very desperately to get my opinions to help them do X, Y, and Z. We're going to get this done. I'm going to focus on getting all the things done so that we can, tell the whole truth. Anyway, back to the thing real quick. So what's RFK's DARPA connection? No journalist on the planet's even close. They haven't figured it out. So let me give you a big hint. The most likely answer is the simplest one: sustainable aviation fuel. Contrails might be a punchline in the culture these days, thanks to the imaginative folks who've rechristened them chemtrails and embroidered them in elaborate theories involving government corporate misdeeds. But contrails are pretty serious business for a less conspiratorial reason. Scientists believe these ice clouds generated by water exhaust gases from aircraft engine could have a real impact on the climate, perhaps cooling temperatures during the day and warming them at night. This title says it all. Jet biofuel enlisted for contrail control. This is March 2013. Now, while most of the internet, do not believe contrails are real, this is what's being said behind your back. Reminder, I said biofuels for contrail control when I testified in Washington, D.C. at the EPA hearing on flight pollution on C-SPAN in 2015. So I've been waiting for the world to catch up. They have not. But regardless, here's the short history of this, and here's the DARPA connection. In 2009, DARPA put out a request for proposals to create HEFA-based biofuels. Definitions here. This is the actual quote right here. The U.S. DoD has directed to explore a wide range of energy alternatives, fuel efficiency efforts in a bid to reduce the military's reliance on oil to power its aircraft, ground vehicles, and non-nuclear ships. The Defense Advanced Research Project Agency is interested in proposals and research development to develop a process that efficiently produces a surrogate for petroleum-based military jet fuel, JP-8, from oil-rich crops produced either with agriculture or aquaculture. So this is what's called HEFA, all right? The HEFA process convert vegetable oils, waste oils, fats, different crops into jet fuel. Now, the other one is called Fischer-Tropsch. We won't get into that, but this is straight from ntrs.nasa.gov. This was printed 2009. Nobody on the internet's covered it yet, but there's DARPA and there's jet fuel, 2009. It seems likely, yeah, right there. Grave danger. Jim's wife is probably going to be pissed she can't go to bed on time. This is why I'm begging you. I cannot make videos. I can't even code past 10 or 11 o'clock on these three monitors, because if I did, my wife can't go to bed, okay? And my kids, whenever I make videos during the daytime, I just kissed them both goodnight because we're going to church in the morning, and it's 11:31. I need to get through this video pretty quickly. Wife's, just biding her time on the couch. Please, for the love of God and for the sanctity and lengthiness of my marriage, help me finish this, studio in my backyard. $350 down, trying to get a goal of about $5,000. And I'm going to strip this entire building empty and make a studio in my backyard. Please share the links, connect.climateviewer.com. Please. I have not asked you guys for nothing in the last year. Not a damn thing. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at this. You guys can read the rest. This is a Fischer-Tropsch. It's a chemical reaction that converts a mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen syngas into liquid hydrocarbons. This is from the ASTM Alternative Fuel Task Force in 2013, which shows all the different ways that sustainable aviation fuel can be able to be created. The link again is connect.climateviewer.com. It's right there. Scroll to the bottom of the page. I got Patreon, PayPal, Cash App, Gibson, Go, and Buy Me a Coffee. Some people just hate PayPal. I used to have GoFundMe. I ditched them. Everybody wanted different solutions. And then finally, if you don't want to do any of those and you want to send, you're a snail mail type of person, 25 Trip Drive, Sumter, that's SUMTER, South Carolina 29153. I believe that address is still on my about page, climateviewer.com/about. Anyway, so all of these different alternative jet fuel, sustainable aviation fuel, biofuel, these are the terms that have been used for this way to deal with contrails. Okay? So for those who don't know anything about this, I included this link, A Beginner's Guide to Aviation Biofuels. You can hit the download link right here and scroll through it. And you can see that this, was started by the Bush era Energy Independence and Security Act of 2007, but currently less than 0.2% of aviation fuel in use is sustainable aviation fuel. Up till now, about 6 billion liters of SAF have been used. These are the estimates roughly. And it's supposed to grow exponentially, but at the same time, biofuels are not a solution for climate change. Biofuels are bad. So just saying, choose wisely. These are not good solutions. So Jimbo says he can predict the chemtrails. We're going to put it to the test. In fact, I'm going to teach you how. So there's a couple things you're going to need. It's better with a desktop than with your phone, but you can do this on your phone. I'll show you how. What I'm probably going to do, since I have never done a paid, Substack article, I will make a Substack article only for paying members, but until chemtrailfacts.com comes out, if you want to be first and you want to impress your friends and really make them scratch their head, I will teach you how to do this, because I have friends who've taught me, and they're all in Climate Viewer chat. So if you really want to cheat, you could just go to Climate Viewer chat, and then Jeff will probably tell you exactly how to do all this. Let's be real. But until then, let's just look at the tape. So a good flight tracker is usually great. Okay. So I live in Sumter, South Carolina. I'm going to come down here real quick to Sumter, South Carolina. And currently right over my house is, boom, this plane right here. It is flying at 24,000 feet. I can already tell you, probably not making a contrail, just because that's the lower limit. Okay. They have a color bar on here, so you can clearly see just by color, this one's at the right altitude, 38,000 feet, 35,000 feet. All the private jets, I'm not going to click it yet, 45,000 feet, 41,000 feet. They're always over 40,000 feet. They're usually flying above the tropopause. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to, especially if you're going to want to verify a plane that you're looking at, use globe.adsbexchange.com or use flight radar. Session timed out. Come on. This is a video I'm trying to make here. I'm not paying for this because I don't use it, but regardless, a lot of people use this one. This is Jeff's favorite one. So anyway, that's, you're going to need a flight tracker if you want to actually go, is this flight supposed to be making chemtrails, contrails, plane farts, cirrus clouds? I don't care what you call it. It kind of matters what you call it, but if you guys are wondering how this works, it goes like this. You have short-lived linear contrails, but in ice supersaturated regions, they can turn into contrail cirrus clouds. Now, I don't really care if you believe this or not. This is at this point in the game, facts do not care about your feelings. I've been doing this 20 years. I have tracked every flight over my house, and understanding this, I could literally go and I can say beyond a shadow of doubt, that plane's flying this high and the conditions are right. Yes, it should be a very short contrail. It should be a long linear contrail but dissipate, or should be a persistent contrail because it's in what's called an ice supersaturated region. How do I know this? Because we have this thing called the Schmidt-Appleman Criterion. And understanding the Schmidt-Appleman Criterion, which is a thermodynamic theory that determines whether a contrail will form or not. It also determines at what level ice supersaturated regions will create cirrus clouds. So just to summarize, non-persistent contrails are short-lived formations that dissipate relatively quickly after forming. Persistent contrails, long-lasting formations that can linger in the sky for hours or even spread out to form cirrus-like clouds, okay? Is Jim working out? You damn right I'm working out. These guns are back. I was so skinny when I had Graves' disease. Don't get me started. Kiss this guy. Don't ask me about how I'm this is just the beginning. Baby, I'm gonna have an 8-pack. I'm gonna be on onlyfeet.com. So this is the science behind it. And now we're gonna show, I'm not gonna get into this any further, but yes, you can look at all this. I got a whole bunch of stuff up here about, can we predict contrail formation? Yes. Using the Schmidt-Appleman Criterion. Can we predict contrail persistence? This is, do they turn into cirrus clouds? Yes. With ice supersaturation, ice supersaturated regions. Can we predict individual contrail forcing? None of y'all care about that. But you can do that with DLR's COSIP. This is the Contrail Cirrus Prediction Tool. This was created by Ulrich Schumann. So whenever you see U. Schumann, Ulrich Schumann is the top scientist on the planet on this subject. I hope to be able to interview him on this channel. That would be my honor. And he basically came up with this thing called the Contrail Cirrus Prediction Model in 2010, probably before that. And that is actually being used by Bill Gates right now. And here's the actual code for it, where you can see, wrong button. Let me scroll in here a little bit. We'll flip to the other side. Contrail Cirrus Prediction Model, published by Ulrich Schumann et al., DLR, Schumann 2012. And, how to actually use PyContrails. This is a Python script, pycontrails.models.cosip.cosip. And this is used on contrails.org. And if you go to contrails.org, you can see that this is a Bill Gates company that is currently mapping out whether contrails are cooling the planet or are they warming the planet. This is why I say biofuels for contrail control. The geoengineers do not like the fact that the clouds that everybody calls chemtrails are heating up the planet by trapping heat at night. And this is very evident when you actually look at the timeline slider here, and you see that the moment that the day comes around, here comes the sun, they start to turn blue. Look, blue. So these are cooling contrails, but these ones are still warming even during the day. Most of these are warming during the day. So Contrail Cirrus, warming during the day, definitely warming at night. Watch the sunset, watch them all turn red. Boom, now they're trapping heat at night. This is a problem. So how do we actually predict contrails? I'm going to show you the easy way first. So we're over here on earth.nullschool.com. Now, what you want to do, by default, this is not set up this way. So what I want to do is go to right here, height. Here, I'll make it bigger for everybody. I want to go to height, and I want to pick 250 hectopascals. Hectopascals equal millibars. This is currently effectively about 35,000 feet. Just give or take. All right. Well, we may get a little bit more sciencey in a minute, but regardless, this is just the simple way to look at it. So we're talking about flight level right here. 70, too high. That's way above flight. No flights are flying that high. And 500, probably too low. So we're going to go 250. This is just a good overview glance. So what you can do is you can actually look right now and you can go, what is at flight level the relative humidity? 2%. In that location, all right, with a 2% relative humidity at flight altitude, no plane is making a chemtrail. It's making a little tiny short contrail. Does this make sense? I hope it makes sense. In order for a contrail to persist, you're going to need, I was going to tell you this in a minute, but I'm telling you it now. So this is just a premise. You got to have minus 45 degrees Celsius and greater than 60% relative humidity with a dew point depression of 4 degrees. That is ideal ice supersaturation. We'll get to that in just a second. So for those who don't want to be very technical, I suggest you use earth.nullschool.net. It is .net, right? Yeah, earth.nullschool.net. Set yours up just like this. Click the RH right here, which stands for relative humidity. And then if you want to see the future and you want to really screw with people, then you go to the date right here and you start to kick this thing forward. So we can go, all right, what are the chemtrails going to be like tomorrow? This is 8 hours from now. And then, okay, so let's give an example. Right now in Florida, they banned geoengineering. But guess what? In Florida, it's 100% relative humidity. You see the number right there? That's 100% relative humidity. All of Florida currently is getting coated in chemtrails. And people are probably going, damn you, Sky. The one world governments, you know, in the military and the DARPA and all the things. Okay. You can do that. I will not hold it against you. I used to be you. I have learned a lot more in the last 20 years. Now I can predict these damn chemtrails. Gonna prove it. So now I can click it forward. Boom, boom. Now we're at 13% relative humidity. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, all right, today it is currently midnight at, let's see, it's 5/3 at 11:45. Tomorrow at 1600 local, that is 4 o'clock p.m. tomorrow. If you're in Florida, let's go up here. Let's say, all right, we're still pretty much all this brown area, we're looking good. This is down. If you're downtown Judy Brown in the southeast tomorrow, I want you to hit me up. Hit me up. I'm on Twitter at ClimateViewer on X. Send me your photos tomorrow. If you're in these locations and I'm wrong, then you're going to have chemtrails and I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm never wrong. In fact, I've been testing this on small groups for the last 2 weeks, and you would not believe the reactions. So this is pretty pretty earth-shattering. Now in these blue regions right here, boom, 100% relative humidity. This is still same time tomorrow, 4 o'clock. This is where the water vapor, the contrail forming regions in the sky are. So you can see that up here, northeast, you guys are going to still be in that big water vapor plume. Coming across, Michigan, Wisconsin, Detroit, you guys are still going to be getting it. Up in the DC region, all that, still 100. Anywhere you see this really light blue, you're going to be getting nailed. Northern California, looks like it's going to get a brief respite during that time, but you're going to have a front of water vapor coming through right afterwards. The point is this: planes are always making chemical trails. That's called jet exhaust. They become visible when they run into high relative humidity zones. These are called contrail forming regions. They fan out and make cirrus clouds when they're in what's called an ice supersaturated region. Let's figure out what's the difference between the two now. So I'm going to come over here to windy.com and I'm going to show you guys some really neat crap. All right. So when I'm at windy.com, we have these things called radiosondes. They are basically weather balloons. You can go and you can click right now on, all right, we were picking on Florida, so let's go show you one right now. So right now in Florida, I have it on the skew-T plot. I have to have it turned on Celsius for a reason. So when we were talking 250 hectopascals, in Florida, that's 28,000 feet. No, it's right here. 35,000 feet. Exactly what I said. If you come all the way up here, let's see what the highest one was. I think there's some up here in Alaska, isn't there? Can a brother find a radiosonde up in Alaska? There's one. Boom. So up in Alaska, 250,000 hectopascals, 33,000 feet. Basically it's atmospheric pressure, so it's going to depend on where you're at. Back to the point. So what you see here is right here at 32,000 feet, it's minus 38 degrees. Right here at minus 45 and minus 50, that's really close. The dew point depression is the temperature minus the relative humidity. It's the difference between the two. Minus 45, minus 50, that's minus 5 degrees Celsius. Right here, boom. Now we are within 4 degrees Celsius. That dew point depression almost guarantees ice supersaturated region. Now, how can we verify that? We can verify that by going to the menu and installing a plugin. I'm going to remove mine for now, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm going to go to Install Plugins. I'm going to scroll down till I find the Contrail Finder. Let me make this bigger for everybody. Contrail Finder, Install Plugin, Open Plugin. Now I'm going to go to that same area, and I'm going to click on it, not the dang town. If this happens, that means you click the town. Just go back to menu, click on Contrail Finder, and then make sure you don't click a town. And what you're going to see, from 46,000 feet, short contrails possible. All the way down, every time you see one of these double hashes, that means repeat the last thing said. All the way down to 38,000 feet, long, possibly persistent. 37, 36, and then longer contrails possible, 35. What did I just show you? I showed you that in that region, these are the will contrails form. Here are the numbers: feet, hectopascals, C, relative humidity, Appleman chart. This is the Schmidt-Appleman Criterion I just talked to you about. So down here, you will see check, 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 contrail persistence. These 3 check marks are where you meet that criterion for creating cirrus clouds. You have minus 45 degrees Celsius or colder. You have greater than 60% relative humidity. That is an ice supersaturated region. That's how I was able to tell you by looking at this radiosonde that right here, I can look at the numbers and I already can tell you that. I don't need the plugin. I've been taught how to do this, you know. And this was not like something magic, you know, that I've known about this for years. I've had more questions about it. I've had, you know, total convection, like I'm not even showing the screen down here, like total convection, condensation lifting. You know, you don't need to focus on all these other numbers. Let's just pretend they don't exist. The easy way for you guys to do this is to literally go to Contrail Finder, which is using the ECMWF, which is the European model, to pull this data all together for you, and you can just click around. So right now, what I actually have for layers turned on is high clouds, pressure, radiosonde, and my Contrail Finder. So all of these dots are different radiosonde plots. If I look at this one right now, what I'm going to see is the closest we get right there, that's within about 5 degrees at 34,000 feet. It may be possible, but then it widens greatly right there. And right about here, you're already starting to get, at this point, you're getting right into the stratosphere, because that's why it's taking that right-hand turn. When you see the temperature start to get warmer, that's an inversion that's caused by the stratosphere. So you can look at these numbers and you can actually tell how high the stratosphere is. Just, you know, it's all just the numbers, guys. So as far as menu goes over here, I go down here and I turn on clouds. I go to high clouds. We don't want medium or low clouds, or just to click the clouds button that's right here. I'm turning on high clouds. I want high cirrus clouds. So that's what we're seeing. So all of this white area, the whiter it is, the higher it is, the thicker it is. All right. No, I don't have, this is not, Croatia's guy's asking, do I have Windy Premium? No, I do not. I'm just logged in. I actually logged in for the first time today just so that I could change the colors. So you can actually go in here and you can hit settings. And I wanted to make sure that it remembered I have it on Celsius, because for me, like, as far as, you know, Schmidt-Appleman goes, having it in Celsius makes it easier for me. But I was scrolling all the way down here to the bottom and I saw that you could customize the colors. So I got to screwing with that and I saved it. But this is actually today, like right before this video, is the first time I've ever actually logged in to Windy. You can do this for free. Listen to Tim Pool IRL. I have. He doesn't talk about this. He doesn't know anything about this. I don't understand why you would even bring that up. So going back to this, you can see minimal contrails may be seen, short contrails possible. Translation: the people in Oklahoma today thought today was not a spray day. Okay? I mean, this, I'm just translating from chemtrail people to, you know, science, because I've been able to predict this for quite a while now. I want you guys to try it for yourself, and then you prove to yourself. Nobody can change your mind on anything. It's up to you. So do some research on this. Look at Schmidt-Appleman Criterion. Try to understand how it is. I'm going to go over this. I'll probably do it. My first ever subscriber only Substack post, where I will give you all of these links in graphic detail, but know that it is coming to chemtrailfacts.com. When this website is live, I will let you know. You will get that notification if you are a member of my Substack. So click here, subscribe to get notified, and guess where you end up? You end up right back here at the Climate Viewer Report at Climate Viewer News. So go ahead and subscribe now. That way, you know, you'll be the first to know. So the point is, I can look very quickly and I can just click around. Minimal contrails, short contrails. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Get right here, guys, right? Some longer contrails, no persistence on any of these. Hell, let's give a shout out to our European friends. We'll go over here. Germany's looking nice and clear right now. No contrails predicted at all in northern Germany. Let's come down here. Boom. But right there, this also explains for those who've ever had that question that whenever you look at this and they're like, but I saw two planes flying close to each other. One was leaving a short contrail and the other was leaving, a long chemtrail. Explain that, Jim. Right here, 34,000 feet. Long, possibly persistent. Why? Scroll down. Ice supersaturated region from 30,000 feet to 34,000 feet. When you come back up here, 34,000 feet to 30,000 feet, that is an ISSR, that is an ice supersaturated region, which means any plane flying through that area is going to leave a contrail. I'm going to give you a better example. Oh, let's just do it. You know what? I'm going to give you an even better example. Let me go to my YouTube and we'll go to the playlist and we'll go to chemtrails. Where you at? Where you at? I got so many dang. Brett. Control F, chemtrail. Yeah. It's right there in your face, bro, man.
Geolocation data.
No, stop that. This is a video. All right. Incoming. Now, a lot of people are going to see this and they're going to immediately go, whoa, this is probably the most used chemtrail video ever. Now, for all those who say, Jim Lee, you're the jet fuel guy, okay? He's the jet fuel guy. He says that only jet fuel's creating contrails. There's no spraying whatsoever. Surprise. This is really going to piss you off. That is what's called an aerodynamic contrail. It doesn't have anything to do with jet exhaust. It doesn't have anything to do with jet fuel. It doesn't have anything to do with any of the things that either me or Dane Wigington or anybody else is even talking about. It literally only has to do with ice supersaturated region. You cannot make this up. So the reason you know this beyond a shadow of a doubt is because when you look at this, you can see the wake vortex coming off of both wings. And you can actually see that it's curling around. That's why it's curling off the wingtips. So this is what's called an aerodynamic contrail, and you can see it for yourself. Now, most people don't want to believe this. This is a 2-engine plane, and the part that they left out when they were telling you about this is that this one, see the rolling action of the wake vortex? It's from the wingtips. It's just like whenever you drive a boat through a river, okay? And apparently this one isn't even persisting because it's got an end right there. I mean, right there, it's already starting to dissipate. The point I'm trying to make here is that when you look at this, and shout out to the original creator, Lou B747, this was uploaded 7 years ago. The part they don't tell you about it is in the details. Crossing traffic 1,000 feet apart as seen from a 747. This was over the east coast of Russia. Which means if you go back here, we're talking about up in a much colder region. So if they were flying through, one of these areas, long contrails possible, long, possibly persistent, all the way down at 23,000 feet. The closer you get to the North Pole, the lower the stratosphere is, the more compact the water vapor is, the relative humidity, and the troposphere. So you're actually going to see colder temperatures at lower altitudes, meaning all these planes flying through these regions. Look, instead of talking up to 40,000 feet, we're talking this is, probably at the tropopause. Short contrails, long, possibly persistent from 30 to 25,000 feet, and then 25,000 feet longer contrails possible. So you can look at this anywhere in the world, click on it, and it'll tell you in Russia, right here, I clicked much lower, minimal at 30, 45,000, 41,000, short possible, 37,000, longer contrails, 36,000 to 30,000 feet, persistent, that's ice supersaturated region. Come down here, look for check marks, there they are. That is your ISSR. So I think we proved that beyond a shadow of a doubt. Everybody should understand how to use it. This is at windy.com with the Contrail Finder plugin. It's probably the most easy way to troll your friends very hard. I suggest you go out and try it. Go troll your friends. Go, I can predict the internet. I can predict the chemtrails by doing things on the internet. I got other screens. I got way more, but I'm not going to go through them all. Ramby slider, looking at, different things. This is actually a cool new website that I just found out about. Let me go back. And I got different views on this thing. Shout out to I should have credited the guy. It would be on my profile. I should probably credit the guy. You know what? I'm not going to be one of those douches. So, this dude, sent me this, Greg, shout out North Jersey Sky, on X. He's the one that actually showed me this website. Cause I actually replied to the guy and I was like, hey, can you tell me what that website is? And he told me about it. And, basically our meteorologist went through and explained to him, what's actually going on in the video that he was showing, and basically a cold front was causing this. Might as well show the video. Shit, we're here now. So he's like, what the heck is that? Boom, look at those clouds just appear out of nowhere.
And they will black out.
And then the sun comes down. So this tells you it's right at sunset also. Okay. And then boom. Weather War 101 used to make these videos all the time and nobody could understand what was going on. Short and simple answer. Right here is a cold front. The cold front is coming through and the sun is going down. Cold goes underneath warm, which shoves that warm air up, which then causes it to quickly condensate. And that turns into clouds. It's really that simple. But anyway, he's a good sport about it. He shared the information with me, and then I went and shared it with Jeff, and Jeff, the meteorologist, and he's at Jeff Weather Guy on X. He's never on X, so don't hit him up there. If you want to hit him up, join our Telegram chat. And he said he would. But basically, yeah, he showed all the things. He's like, go here and look at this, and it'll show you exactly what's going on. And, you can see where the cold front was coming down. Boom, here comes the cold air pushing in, pushing up the clouds and all that. So that's the fun stuff. At the higher end of the spectrum, this is more technical. I don't expect most people to do this, but for, your higher end users, the Ramby slider at sierra.coloradostate.edu is probably the most technically challenging and technically rewarding piece, of satellite footage that you can use. And it has things like right now I'm on the GOES 19 on the EU MetSat dust product. And a lot of times when there's a really good day and it's pretty clear, you'll be able to see all of the contrails actually on here pretty clearly. I'm going to refresh this just so that play, bitch. I'm live. Don't screw with me. Sometimes I have to give this a couple refreshes because otherwise it'll get stupid. And of course it's going to get stupid. Anyway, why are you doing this to me? refresh it. It should be playing. I don't know what it's doing. It's just being dumb. I have 1 gigabyte per second fiber optic. So if you got crappy internet, don't even try this, because this website is huge on data use. It's finally starting to build an animation. I had it built, when it was out here. So it was much. Ooh, look up there. There's a good example. So with the dust product, you can actually see it highlight really dirty trails. Pretty neat. Boom, there they are. It really highlights them, makes it easy for you to see them. Anyway, over here, this is the other one. This is called Day Cloud Phase, which is really useful because at the bottom down here, I'm not sure if you guys can see that, water at surface, land surface, snow surface, glaciating cloud, low water cloud. They're color coded. Yellow is thick high ice cloud. Red is thin high ice cloud, and this dark purple is thin mid water cloud. So what we can see right here is that all of this correlates with this color right here, which is thin high ice cloud. Those are cirrus clouds. Cirrus clouds matter. And what we can see right here is a bunch of trails, which are fanning out and then blowing along the wind. And what does that look like to you guys? Does that look like my chemtrails? That's what it looks like to me. So you can see this real quick, and I can actually hit play on this. Now that I've moved it, it's going to have a different animation. But regardless, them's the breaks. Let's see if it actually works. I put it on 24 images, 60 minutes apart. This is actually a freaking huge animation. We'll see if we can actually get it to play the entire day out. One time. Do. All right. It should load this time. Come on, bro. So at nighttime, you're going to see it turn red. This is the beginning of the day. Sun comes up all the way to the end of the day in that amount of time. Pretty neat product. And you can tell at any level what the clouds are, what type of cloud they are just by their color coding. Pretty fun stuff. I think it's neat. But for the most part, just to recap, using the earth.nullschool.net with the relative humidity product set at 250 hectopascals, go look for your blue regions and then go look into the future. Click right here, these double arrows, and you can go next day, next day, next day. And of course, the further you go, the less likely it is to be true. But as you can see right here, we're going to have till the 5th, which should be Monday, right? Yeah, so Monday, even on the 5th, I know we're supposed to get nailed with rain like Wednesday. I'm in South Carolina. So I'm just curious what it actually would show on Wednesday. And then boom, yep. See, all that high relative humidity is supposed to be in here by Wednesday, the 7th. So it looks like that's likely to be true. This is using, computer models that are predicting the future. So you can go check this, see how accurate it is. Just the simple way. If it's very low, if it's less than 60% relative humidity, you can almost be guaranteed that when you click now, like right now, and it says something like 2%, 12%, all of these areas, they're definitely not going to be any clouds. They're not going to be planes making clouds. So this leaves us with a conundrum, folks at home. Are chemtrails a secret government program where people are using pumps and pipes to spray, and they choose just not to do it when the Schmidt-Appleman Criterion are not met, when there's no water vapor in the sky? Or am I psychic? Do I have a phone hotline to the Illuminati to where I can predict in your state that there's not going to be any contrails turning into cirrus clouds blocking out the sun? Or is this the truth? Let me know in the comments. Please share this with your friends. Please try this at home. I'll write a little instruction manual on this, especially, it's going to be on chemtrailfacts.com. It's going to be very lengthy, very detailed, step by step to teach you how to do this yourself. To be able, and let's be clear, if there is a secret government program going on and you go and you track a flight, either manually with a camera, like a Nikon P900 or P1000, and then you see that it's not on flight radar, but you're able to get the number off the wing. You can even buy a telescope. You should look at plane spotters on X. They take amazing photos, like unfreaking believable photos and video of these planes. And you can read tiny writing on the sides of the planes. So the point is this: you should be able to go on there and track a flight, figure out what altitude it is, go to windy.com, click the Contrail Finder plugin, check out the location, start there. Graduate to being able to read radio sign data yourself, understanding what the Schmidt-Appleman Criterion is for contrail formation, and how to find ice supersaturated regions minus 45 degrees Celsius or colder, and at least 60% relative humidity with a dew point depression around 4 degrees, possibly 5 degrees, but within a 4 degree separation. If you've got negative 50 and negative 54 on your relative humidity, or 54 on your relative humidity, that's a 4 degree difference. That is a 4 degree dew point depression. You're gonna get clouds made by planes that fan out and turn into cirrus clouds. This is how I predict chemtrails, and I dare anybody to prove me wrong. In fact, I'll make you this promise. If we raise the funds to build the studio, I will make the chemtrail forecast video, make it like a 5, maybe 10-minute video, short video, and I'll try to do it every single day. At least for a while till I get bored, or till the internet gets really trolly about it, and then that'll just encourage me to do it more. Alternatively, right now I have a job offer at a law enforcement division, and I cannot continue to do this from my bedroom. I love my life. My life is perfectly freaking happy when I'm not on the internet. Dealing with people who are afraid to go outside because of clouds, who are putting out videos every single day saying, I'm scared for my health. I think I'm going to die. It really saddens my soul to read most of the stuff that I read online. And it's really bringing me down. I'm telling you, it's a bummer. That's why I try to use laughter and jokes. Stella, shut the hell up, Stella. I know it's impossible for me to make a short video. That's why I would pre-record it. It wouldn't be live. If I raise the money and I build this studio, I will make a pre-recorded, like 5-minute video, the chemtrail forecast. And I will literally point at this and I will go, at these areas right here, you're getting nailed by the chemtrails. But these places here, they're going to take a day off. They're not going to spray you in Oklahoma. They don't have enough military ops to go up there and take out all the people in New Hampshire. You guys are getting a break today. But down there in Florida, sorry, you guys being geoengineering, you're getting nailed today. The KC-135 tankers are dumping in the sky. Everybody's going to be able to see it. Just look out your window. They're chemtrailing you like they're not just going to spray them. They're going to bury them. And I'm not going to put my face on. I'll literally just, do like some, shots of the satellites and all that. I think it'll be absolutely hilarious, and it'll be informative all at the same time. So if you'd like to see that happen, Please support me. Thank you to the people who've already donated. I've collected about $350. I've got it in a piggy bank. Not going to do anything with it until I actually get the stuff. And also know this, once we start to get to, get probably about the, $2,000 range, I'm already going to be cleaning out the building and like stripping it down, but I will take pictures and I will post them so that you guys can see the progression of the studio. And eventually I will not be in this freaking, wrong button, not be in this freaking bedroom anymore. And I will be in a cool looking little studio. Hey, it won't be Shangri-La, but I'm not asking for $50,000 because I want to be like, Candace Owens or, any of these, Joe Rogan. I just want to have a small space where I can work and not upset my wife. It is now 12:17. We have church at 10 o'clock in the morning, which means we're going to get up at 8:30. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Please support my work. You can do that by going to connect.climateviewer.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page. There's multiple ways to donate. I will say it again for those, in chat. And I'll actually type it out. 25 Trip Drive. That's Sumter, South Carolina, 29153. Attention, and I'll put my name in there too. James F. Lee Jr. Okay, that is my address. That is my real life location. I will put that up there in chat. I'll put that on the screen too. It's right there. It says Restream James F. Lee Jr. 25 Trip Drive, Sumter, South Carolina 29153. That way, if you guys don't, you don't want to do the internet thing, you want to send a check, especially if you're one of those, if you're rich and you want to like splurge. This gentleman from Sumter, South Carolina, who spent 20 years doing this, I would greatly appreciate it. God bless everybody who's supported me over the years. I haven't asked you guys for anything in a year, but I have got to do this for the sanctity of my home and the saneness of myself and the love of my wife and my life. So we're going to be working out. We're going to be hopefully building a studio. I'm going to be working on chemtrailfacts.com. To all the people who've been calling me every day, wanting like a personal tutorial or for me to help you build your business model or do a documentary, all that, you're all going to have to suck it and wait until I'm done with chemtrailfacts.com. Once I'm done with that, we're going to have a whole new line of merch. And, where we go from there, nobody knows, but we'll see what happens. I will definitely be more free to make more videos more often. So, love you guys, mean it. Thank you for tuning in this late at night, and please share the video, like the video. If you haven't subscribed, I'm right now I'm live on X. I'm live on my Facebook profile, and BitChute and Rumble. Rumble and YouTube, and then it gets mirrored to BitChute. My Odyssey's down right now because I haven't been able to figure out how to get it to live stream to Rumble. To Odyssey. It's really stupid. Maybe I'll figure it out in the future. So hit the subscribe button. All the links of that are on connect.climateviewer.com. Pretty soon it will be on the front page of climateviewer.com. So I don't have to say the word connect ever again. But we'll be doing that. Thank you everybody who watched. I can predict chemtrails. So can you. If you don't believe me, let me know in the comments. If you think this is a freaking miracle and you're grateful, let me know in the comments. If you think that I'm connected to the Illuminati and all this is fake and gay because space is fake and gay and so is, satellites, I can't help you, dude, man. If you're a flat earther, I respect your right to be flat, but you could be flat wrong. And the day we all agree is the day we could all be wrong. Love you, mean it. Catch you on the next one. Please help support my studio. My life depends on it.
Kids are impressionable. That's why here at this station, we watch the programs and commercials your child watches carefully. He may see bad guys, but not in the role of heroes. And he'll learn that crime doesn't pay. Because your child's welfare is our concern, too. That's part of our code.
Better than anything you can get without a prescription. Anything. It's the best.